Hello, my next level friends. Welcome to a new episode of Breakfast with Sergio. And in this episode, we're going to talk about creating a personal declaration and what they are for. So, my friends, welcome back to Breakfast with Sergio. And I'm here with none other than Dr. Janina Gomez. Welcome, Janina.
Hi, thank you for having me again. Hey, everybody.
Super happy to have you one more time here in Breakfast with Sergio. So, what did you bring? And I know we're kind of sharing the breakfast today.
I wonder why.
I don't know, right? What is in your plate?
It came from the same kitchen. Of course, I have my latte and I have a fruit salad without the extra stuff that you have.
Yeah, right, that's right. So we have both the fruit salad. However, mine is dressed up a little nicer. Mine has...
No, it's not dressed up a little nicer.
Well,
you just have extra ingredients.
You guys can judge, you see. There you go. Which one would you want? This one or that one? Dr. Anna or mine? Let me know in the comments.
My healthy, conscious people will say, eat me.
So this one has a little bit more banana than yours. It has also whipped cream and a touch
What type of whipped cream?
Chocolate whipped cream.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was light. And then I have a little bit of cinnamon. Nicely layered with cinnamon on top, and it is delicious. You can actually smell the cinnamon.
Yes, I can. I love cinnamon.
So awesome. So that's
Maybe
what
I
is
will
on.
put some cinnamon in mine, but not the whipped cream and the extra.
There you go. Well, that's a little bit of what we're having today for breakfast. What's on your plate? Let me know. Well, my friends, we're going to talk about today this topic of creating a personal declaration and what they're for and what we use them for. And that's something that you have one, I have one. It's a practice that we have. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. And it is something that I know many other people do. Mm-hmm. Many high successful people as well. They have personal declarations, so they also call it other things like self-affirming declaration or confirmations, affirmations, exactly, things like that. I've seen like Tony Robbins talk about that and many other people because they're really powerful, and I didn't understand how powerful they were until I actually started using mine. So let's in this episode talk a little bit about what in the world is a personal declaration, and no better to tell us than the doctor who's in the house. So what's a personal declaration?
Well, basically a personal declaration is a document that you write. It's a couple of sentences, maybe a paragraph, maybe two, and it's just all about, reminding yourself of who you are, what's your purpose or purposes, what are your intentions and your values, and that inner energy that you need in order for you to be able to achieve the goals that you set for yourself. So it's more like a self-motivational kind of tool that you can use to maintain that motivation, especially more so when the goings get tough. Because we all go through a lot of great days, but not so great days. And sometimes we need a little push. Sometimes we need a little encouragement. And we can not only rely on other people to give us that encouragement, but also we need to learn how to self-motivate, how to motivate ourselves. And using a personal declaration, writing a personal declaration or affirmation, it's really a good tool to use to remind yourself about who you are and what you are about. So.
And before we talk about kind of like the parts of a personal declaration, and that, although Annie also wants to be part of the video, so there are three main parts of that. But before we talk about that, something I want to say about the personal declaration is it's a document that you create for yourself that is not for you to share on social media or for anybody else. It's just yours. It's very personal. You do it for your own sake, for your own health and improvement personally, and also for your own motivation, as you said. But it's not something that you're going to put on your website, or it has no marketing value at all. No. So I just want to make sure that I mention that. Don't confuse this with your art statement or anything like that. This is just for your own wellness, to help you stay motivated. And if you have seen my episode on priming your day, that's one of the parts that I use in priming my day in the morning. Just read my personal declaration and just read it aloud for me, and that just helped me to start my day. So
No, I was just going to say there's something about the whole thing about repeating it yourself or reading it to yourself to the point that perhaps memorizing it is when think about it. When at this point you might have self-doubts, and there might be some mindset blocks that are preventing you from going from where you are to where you want to be. But as you remember, as you repeat to yourself where you want to be and where you are heading, every single day, eventually it's almost like what I say, it's more like a brainwash, a mindset brainwash, but it's a positive one, because what you're doing is you are replacing the negative thoughts and negative ideas with positive ones. And once you are internally convinced, believe me, that's when there's something about your brain, there's something about limit. Exactly. So but you have to really convince yourself, because honestly, you know who is our worst enemy? We are our worst enemies. We're the ones that are constantly jeopardizing ourselves and putting ourselves down, doubting ourselves. So that's the whole purpose of an inner affirmation or declaration, whichever way you want to call it. It's just that it's to help you replace those negative thoughts in which you're thinking that everything is impossible into yes, it is possible. So you are rewiring your brain and retraining your brain in a way that is more positive thinking. So
awesome. And in the next next few minutes, tell us just in a few words really quickly, what are the parts of a personal declaration? All
right, there's different, depending on who you talk to, who is your coach or guide, they will tell you different things. The one I teach is a 4-step process, but it has 3 parts. So, the first one is more like the priming and self-reflection, the step 1. Then the step number 2 it's called inner affirmation. So it's all about who you are as a person. Right? What is within you, and then kind of rekindling or rediscovering the energy, your energy, and what really makes sense for you and what really sparks you, give you joy. Then there is the self-affirmation, which is all about shifting those negative thoughts and struggle into action, into goals, and then reminding yourself that I will no longer think this way, I'm going to think this way, and then there is the commitment affirmation, which is what is it that you want to do with your life? What do you want to do? What is your purpose, your destination? So those are the 3. There's a step 4. There's 4 steps, but those are the 3 areas that I teach when it comes to it. And once you put it together, you will have a declaration which will remind you all about who you are as a person, where you're heading. Is all about present tense, nothing about future tense, because the way I see it is, again, going with the way your brain works, it has to be about present tense, because it's all about action. If you write it in future tense, it's more wishful thinking. It's more like, maybe tomorrow I'll think about it. No, but when you write present tense, it's all about today. Today, exactly.
Here I am. Yeah, here who I am, where I am, what am I all about, and where am I heading. So very good. Thank you, Dr. Ina. This is pretty awesome. And my friends, if you need some help with preparing your personal declaration, we're actually running a webinar right now on goal setting for 2019. Overcoming your challenges and obstacles for your goals in 2019. So check it out. It's an absolutely free webinar. You can check it out. And in the webinar, Dr. Ina expands a little bit more on how to put together your own
I provide examples, and I walk you through all the 4 steps. So
it's really cool. And the way you sign up for the webinar, just go to www.theartistnextlevel.com/goals. Again, www.theartistnextlevel.com/goals. Sign up for the day that is more convenient for you, and we will be there live going over this awesome goal setting for 2019, and specifically also talking about the personal declaration, which is pretty awesome, very powerful tool that you can use in your art career to win the day in 2019.
And exactly. Now that we're getting closer to the end of this year and the beginning of a brand new year, you want to start with a clean slate. And putting together, writing your personal declaration will be an amazing step, because we have worked with artists that have an amazing plan, they have a strategy, but then once they have to take action, that inner self kind of stops them from doing it. That's what we don't want for you. So be there, join us in this webinar, and we would love to help you and walk you through all these processes.
Be there or be square. Share this episode with a friend, my friend, and I will see you in the next episode of Breakfast with Sergio. Thank you, Daniela Gomez. Super cool, super happy to have you. Thank you, my friends. We'll see you later.
Bye.